Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are a new person here, new subscriber, or just a new watcher, I am Rechelle Mackay. I am a confidence and spiritual coach. I've only been back into this business this year. I've had a bit of a break, but I am back. If you aren't new, if you are a regular and you used to be on this channel back years ago, oh my God, thank you so much for being so loyal and supportive and still wanting to watch my content. But yeah, I am really excited about today's topic. It's a very true to my own heart, one of my own things that I had to really work through over the years in my own life, and it's been something that I've really had to conquer in my own world, big time, massively. So the topic is, I'm just going to get straight into it. And yes, I'm wearing a Barbie top. I love Barbie. I love pink. As you know, this whole channel is all about pink. But yeah, I'm wearing a Barbie top. Yeah, I'm 46 and I love Barbie, so what? So just for all the people out there that are judging, you know, we like what we like. That's it. So today's topic is going to be about living unapologetically and really living life on your terms and what you believe in without justification. This particular area can go in, I think it's more around relationships. As I said, if you haven't watched my previous video, the one around, how to get out of toxic relationships or how to move on in a relationship, that was the previous video, which was amazing. I feel like it was some really good aha moments in that video. But this particular video is a little bit on the same sort of, not theme, like same topic, but different, right? So this is around a relationship as well. So I'm just going to give you the struggle as far as before you watch the rest of the video. So you're a person that's struggling with, speaking your truth to your friends, speaking your truth to your partner, and standing up for what you believe in. So you really struggle to meet your own needs and speak forward. Or maybe you can speak up, but then you don't follow through, right? Because you get worried about the other person's needs, not your own. So I'm just going to give you a couple of different things so that you can see if this video is for you. Like maybe you want to live an unapologetic life, meaning you want to live life on your own terms so that you stop living life for others, but you don't know what that looks like. And even if you might be doing it, but you don't know you are. That's who I could be speaking to too as well. You could be like, I don't know if I even do that. Well, I'll tell you how you know if you aren't living an unapologetic life. You are always going with what the other person wants to do. You don't speak up when you want to do something else or come to the middle. So you just go with the flow and you be the sheep and you follow what they say. You justify all the time. I'm going to put my glasses on. You justify what your needs are. So you'll explain yourself a lot. I used to do that all the time. Still do sometimes, but I used to justify. I was like the queen of justifying, ridiculously. And I'm going to share with you, moving on in the video, how I've worked through it and I'm moving through it. Maybe you're a person that you struggle with putting yourself first. It's the same sort of thing, still living an unapologetic life, putting yourself first and making sure that their needs are met first before you even worry about yourself or what you need, right? So you'd be one of them people that you have no boundaries with people and people just basically dangle with you however they want and you just go with whatever they say, right? Now, this can be in love. Like this can be something that is, well, actually, to be honest, it's actually the most strongest in love. It really is. And our own kids. So like our close circle, really close circle. If you are struggling, you usually would be struggling in all different areas, like whether it be a sister or a child or a partner or a co-worker or a friend or a family member. It usually will show itself in all those different types of relationships when you do what other people tell you to do. Now, I'm all about, right? So I'm just going to give you my scenario, my own life experience and how I've dealt with it, right? And I believe I've conquered this really well now. Like I'm doing really well with this. To live an unapologetic life, right? In a nutshell, it is really living your life on your terms. So your needs are always going to be met, even if you need to compromise, right? So an unapologetic life means that this is what you need. This is how you want to do it. Yeah, you might come to the middle and work things out with that other person, but ultimately in that unapologetic life, living an unapologetic life, you've looked after yourself and you've looked after the other. That's an unapologetic life. Now, if you aren't living an unapologetic life, you are angry and frustrated at the other person. You would be bitching and carrying on about the other person because you don't get, they don't listen to you. They don't do this. They're not filling your cup. They're not letting you do this. They control you like that. So literally, if you're in drama, you ain't living an unapologetic life. You're basically in the drama of what that person is treating you like. But really, you have control of that, right? You have control of that. What you accept, you teach. I've always said this saying. I love this saying. What you accept, you teach, right? So say as an example, let me give you an example. I'm just going to say we're going to buy something, right? So you're in a relationship and you're buying something for the house, and you do like what this your partner wants to get, but then you're not 100%. But you just put it under the carpet and you cement it because you think it's just not worth the drama. And I don't want the confrontation, and I don't want him to get upset. I don't want her to get upset. So you just let it go. That's not living an unapologetic life. That is you just doing what's best for the other person and not listening to your own needs. Now, call it selfish, call it whatever the fuck you want. But at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you ain't being partial selfish with your own needs, you are going to be constantly unhappy because your needs aren't going to be met. Now, it might not be big unhappy, it might just be a little bit. But if you ain't speaking up to what you need and how you want to go through whatever it is that you are working through or working on, and you don't speak up, you're going with whatever they want. And to me, in that, right, in that if you're constantly doing that, you don't know your self-worth. That's another topic. That's another video. But self-worth is where we end up just giving in. We don't want the confrontation. We won't speak up. So we just go, I'm not worthy. Oh, maybe we should just do what she says. I'll just go with that. It's better just to leave that like that. It's just easier. I'll numb myself out. It's just easier. I'll just, blah, blah. But really deep down, that's not you being fulfilled. That's not you living your truth. And that's not me being vague. Like at the end of the day, every single one of us have a mission, have a vision, have a way we want to live our life, regardless of the relationship, whether it's our mum, our dad, our sister, our children. You are living your life. Yes, you've got all these amazing people around you, but at the end of the day, you have to speak up to what you need. And saying the word unapologetic isn't about being a smart ass or a, badass, because I like to say baddie, badass. It really is just honoring yourself and knowing what you're worth and what you need. That's all it is. But a lot of people get confused like, oh, I don't want to upset him. I don't want to, but you're upsetting yourself. You're upsetting yourself because you're not putting your needs equally the same as theirs. And that, in my opinion, that relationship will not thrive. It can't. In Australia, we've got this show called Married at First Sight, and I love watching the judges. Oh my God, they're freaking amazing. And, if you ain't meet in the middle with this particular relationship or this particular person, you aren't happy, right? So if that person cares about you and your needs and loves you equally the same, doesn't matter if it's not love, it can be a friendship, it can be family, whatever, then they don't really give a fuck how you feel. And for me, it's like, is that really someone you want to have close in your close circle? I don't think so. So if they don't care about your needs, and say they're one of them people go, I don't give a fuck what you're going through. I don't care what you've been through. This is what I need and this is what I'm going through. That is a red flag. You need to look at that and go, oh my God, okay, so it's all about you, not me, right? So it's not tick for tack. It is equal in a thriving relationship. It's their needs, your needs, come to the middle, work together. Now, out in the world of women that you see, or men, or entrepreneurs that are living an unapologetic life, and they're living their truth, and they're speaking up, and they're really owning what it is that they want to do in their life, and who they want to be with, and how they want to show up in their life. When they're projecting out there an unapologetic, some people like yourself that is struggling with living an unapologetic life can judge them, because you're like, she thinks her shit don't stink. He thinks his shit don't stink. Who does she think she is? Like, you literally bitch about those people, because you're not brave enough, you're not strong enough to do that yourself. So then you'll be triggered by someone that is doing it. You know, if you're triggered by something, it's your stuff, not theirs. If you're triggered by something, it's your stuff, not theirs. There's a part of that you want to be or have in your life. So take notice of the triggers. The triggers are your GPS. So they're the things that you are battling with on the inside, right? We think that the triggers are there to hurt us, or us get, not nasty, that's not the word. You know, you think, oh, they triggered me. You hear it all the time. People use the word very, very freely now. They're triggering me. Well, they're not triggering you. You're triggered by them. And so that means that you haven't done the work on that particular area in your life. I probably shouldn't put it on this public platform, but I don't need to speak about names, but I used to have a girlfriend who used to judge me about my spiritual self. And this is the God's honest truth. And she wasn't spiritual. I do think she is now. Anyways, this is not about her. This is about me and how I dealt with it. So this is just me telling you a story. So she was not spiritual, and I used to trigger her, and she might have a different opinion about this, of course, a different view, whatever. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to share with you how I've seen it, right? So she was triggered by me. Now, listen to this. Now, I talked about self-worth. So I would let her second guess myself. So I would let her opinions make me second guess myself. Now, what is that? That is me not living an unapologetic life. That's me not knowing my self-worth. And that's me not believing in my own truth. It doesn't matter what the other person is saying about you in that particular part of your life, or who you are in your life. Because when you know who you are, and you know what you bring to the table, and you know what you're about, you know you're a good person, you don't let anybody in that what would you say? In that cave, because that's your cave, right? So you sort of like got this armor of like sword, like this is me, this is who I am, and that's the strength. And I'll tell you what, it is attractive too as well. So if it was love, that's attractive, because that's confidence. You know, that's you really believing in what it is that you are and need, right? And I mean, who doesn't want someone that is like that over someone that's insecure, dramatizing, constantly putting others down, gossiping, whinging, whining? You know, I know what I'd rather. I'd rather have people around me that know what they want, know who they are, and that's who they are, and that's what they stand for. And I support that. Like, I love that. I might not have done it as much as I am now in my past, like, younger life. Of course, maybe I didn't, because I wasn't as experienced or grown up, and I hadn't done the work. But coming along to 46, 47 this year, I've learnt that for me to be the happiest I can be, sorry, my hair's doing some weird shit. That's the hairdresser in me, darling. For me to live my happiest life, and me to be fulfilled, and to take care of myself, and me to be the best partner, best wife, best mother, best friend, I have to be making sure that I'm checking in with myself, that this is true to me, and I'm being who I am with those people. Because another thing too that is a really good way of knowing if you aren't living an unapologetic life is you are just being your true self in front of that particular person. That means that you're so comfortable with them, right? Because maybe you've still been working through this thing of not being unapologetic, right? And then when you're around the right people, you are. That can happen too as well. That's very common, as a matter of fact. That tells me that they're your tribe, because they don't judge you. They love you as you are, right? They love your authenticity. They love that this is who you are, and they don't want to change you, right? But the women that want to, or the men that want to change you, or the partners or the family that want to change you, they aren't aligned. I'm sorry, they're not. Or if they are and you want to keep them in your life, or you have to have them in your life, you need to say to yourself, you know what? I want to be unapologetic, and that means that I'm going to speak blah, 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 and this is my truth. And if it upsets some people, so be it. There is a way of delivering things. There's a way of saying things. There's a way of doing things. But at the end of the day, you have to fulfill your own needs. You're number one. And you can whine, whinge, carry on, and do all those things for the rest of your life. But until you make the changes and you start to do these simple, basic things, nothing's going to change. And you'll keep regurgitating and repeating these cycles. It'll never change. Now, I just want to share this one thing with you, right, before I get off this video, because I think I've talked about this enough for today. I want to say to you that, is there times when you aren't as unapologetic and you aren't as, strong? Yes, of course. So then what you do is you go back to the drawing board and you keep working through the things that are triggering you, the things that you know that isn't aligned with you. So say, for instance, you put up with ABC and you know that you weren't living your truth and you weren't being unapologetic and you're just basically making sure their needs are met, right? You need to come back to yourself and go, hang on a minute, this is not really what I want. I've got to work through this because here I am living for them, not for myself, That would be a huge regret in your older life. Living for what is your truth and what your essence is the be and all. It really is. And it's super attractive too. And I don't mean that just in a physical way. I mean that in a way that you spread that amazing shine. It's probably shine. Like you're shining when you're being like that. People are attracted to that. People love that. People like to know where they stand, and they like people that are clear about what they need, right? There's no vagueness. There's no confusion around that. It's very clear. I mean, who doesn't want to know up front what people need that you love in your life? Like, just be upfront and be honest. And that's the other thing too as well. If someone is frustrating you or upsetting you and you love them, you've got a good relationship with them, speak up. Don't hold it in. Don't let it fester. Because the more we let it fester, the bigger the wound gets, right? So it might be a little hole and then it'll end up being a large hole. And the longer you leave it, the harder it is to work through. It's a bigger hole because so many more things has happened. So, start working through the things. If you're triggered, that is the GPS to tell you something's not right. The trigger is for you to understand yourself, not for them. Their triggers is their stuff. Your triggers is your stuff, right? So I hope this video helped you. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, and I will be back next week.